Hello Guardians, welcome back to Right Way Gaming, and today is the start of my new schedule, which means I'll be bringing you daily videos when and however I can. So today will be Monday, and that means that I'll be bringing you Destiny videos as well as other game videos, but I will try to cover Destiny every week. And I thought, what's the best sort of thing to do on a Monday, since there's not much content out there on a Monday for Destiny that hasn't already been covered. And, well, I came up to the conclusion, how about PvP and PvE guides? My opinions and my advice on how to improve in those areas. So I'm going to start with PvP, and then I'm going to work on PvE videos for you. So first up, I thought about, well, PvP. How can I help people prove their worth? Well, quite frankly, I thought I'll work on one of the main things that I found helped me in terms of improving my PvP experience, and that was my mobility, moving around and knowing how to evade, when to evade, etc. So I've got a few points here that I'm going to cover, and I'll do them one at a time and explain how to improve and how to know when to do that. So first up is the most obvious one, yet not many people do it. Know when to retreat. If you engage in a battle, the only way you will die is if because the other person has the advantage and you fail to notice that and retreat and get back into cover away from them. Now I know it sounds easier said than done, and that is the very fact of it. You know, if you're in a battle, whether it's using scout rifles, SMGs, sidearms, shotguns, if you have the advantage of someone, you should be killing them. Now, the minute that tide turns, you should be turning round and running in the opposite direction from them, using as much cover, whether it's doorways, pillars, walls, holes, whatever, to make sure that they can't get a shot on you. Now, it doesn't matter if you're weaving, jumping, sliding, you want to be using every single ability you've got to avoid being shot at. Now, what does this mean? You don't want to be running in straight lines, because that you just become an easy target. The minute you try and retreat and run in a straight line, you're going to get shot at, dead. It's that simple. So even if you're running at a corner, just to get round it into cover, don't run straight at it. Jump, slide, dive, whatever you can do to get out of that firing line, because if you don't, you'll die before you manage to retreat. So like I said, retreating is easier said than done. It's not just about running away, it's about using cover and your maneuverability to get out of the firing line. Now this leads on to my next subject for this area. Know when to pursuit. In other words, just because you're winning a fight doesn't mean you're going to win it. Now that sounds a bit contradictory, but let me explain. So if you're in a fight with someone, say you're in a scout battle, and you're winning, you know, he's missed every shot up to yet, and you've landed 3 of your shots, you need 1 more to kill him, but he turns and gets into cover and runs. You chase him down, all of a sudden you see his teammates are there. Do you pursue that kill, or do you retreat and regroup with your teammates knowing that you're not with them? The simple answer is B. You should always be regrouping with your teammates, because the minute you go into that room to try and finish him off, you're dead. Yeah, you might take him with him, but that's a might. That's the point. You no longer have that advantage. So you retreat, you go back to your teammates, you don't over pursue. Now, there is obviously situations where, yes, you might still get the kill by throwing a grenade in there, but again, that comes down to the decision making of knowing when to retreat and whether to stay and stand your ground, because that's the third option. You can stand your ground using your cover to hold the team off while your teammates come up around the back of them and wipe them out while they're paying attention to you. And also that works vice versa. If they switch their attention to your teammates, that gives you the opening to go in with a short range weapon and take them out while they're not paying attention. This is all about your awareness, which I will go into on another video and explain how that works, because that is much more complicated. So basically, the first 2 options I want to cover is don't over pursue players and know when to retreat. And out of the 2 things there, the majority of players will over pursue. That's why they die so much. You playing a game, whether you're playing competitive, quick play or trials, you will find that your teammates will pursue someone even though they're at a disadvantage the minute that player gets back with his teammates. And your teammate won't recognise that, he'll still go in and he will die. Whereas what he should have done was turn around, come back to you, team fire, bring them out into the open, distract, and then either your other two teammates will kill them or they'll distract and you will kill them. This is a simple team play strategy in terms of manoeuvring and how to get around your opponent. Now, next I want to talk about your manoeuvres when you're in combat. Now, it could be classed as a separate subject, but it isn't, because it's still about evasion and manoeuvrability, but while you're in combat. So, first thing I want to cover is short range combat. So anything like with sidearms, SMGs, shotguns, etc. You may think it's obvious, but in all honesty, it's not. What you want to be doing is moving around. You want to be a hard target to hit. So whether you're sliding, jumping, you want to be doing everything you can. But on top of that, you will have surroundings that you can use to your advantage. Whether it's a pillar, a wall, or a doorway. You can peep in and out of it to avoid fire while still hitting your opponent, especially if he's not using his cover. Now, if he is, then it is basically a showdown as to who uses their cover better and gets the shots off. So in this video you'll see I use my sidearm quite a lot, and you'll see that while I'm using it, I will come from the air at my target. Now, a lot of people may say that this is a bad tactic. Yes, if you're using a weapon that doesn't have good aerial aim. Now, when I say this, that's why people used the palindrome in Destiny 1 with Icarus, because it increased your in-air accuracy. Sidearms and SMGs already have this sort of ability. They are very accurate coming in from the air. And the advantage you have when you're doing this, especially over doorways, if you jump over the top of a doorway, someone can run through it and realise you're not there. Next thing, you drop down, you're behind them, you've killed them. That is the advantage to doing that. And it's exactly why you'll see me doing it around doorways and over doorways, because it gives you the advantage. It switches their aim to the doorway, you come in from above, you get an extra shot or two off before they're firing at you. So that is one way to work your manoeuvres in a short range combat. Another way is something as simple as running round a pillar, because by simply running round that pillar, you're avoiding being shot at and recovering your health, and also causing panic and confusion to the opponent. Now, I know that again sounds silly, but that is what happens. The minute you run round that pillar, the opposition will over pursue you, making the simple mistake of falling into your trap and giving you the advantage. Now, I want to talk about mid to long range combat, because that gets a little bit more basic, and it's simply because it's about ducking in and out of cover and possibly pre-firing your shots. So if you know someone's going to be through a doorway, start firing before you walk through it. That way you're guaranteed to get, well, not guaranteed, but you're more likely to get your first shot on your target, giving you the advantage over your opponent, and them less time to get back into cover. By doing this, you'll find that you get a lot of kills where people are already weak because your teammates have been firing at them, and you simply just pre-fired the doorway or the corner and you got the final shot off. This again gives your team the advantage, because all of a sudden you've caught the enemy off guard. Even with something so simple as popping in and out of cover, doing something like that will catch them off guard and force them to try and get back into cover, but by the time they do, it'll be too late. Now, that is pretty much it for those two subjects. Next, I want to cover how you can use your abilities to improve your manoeuvrability. So on the Hunter, which is what I mainly main, so that I can give the most advice on that class, you've got your dodge ability, you've got your triple jump, you've also got your strafe jump, and you've also got certain exotic armor things like stompies, which allow you to move quicker. And on top of that, don't forget you've got your class, what do they call it, stats. You know, you've got your mobility, your resistance, and your recovery. Now these do play a part, and you should always try and look at making sure all your armor pieces have some sort of legendary buff to them so that you can improve these stats, and if not, improve your weapon handling, because these will give you an advantage as well. So like I said, on a hunter you've got the stompies, which increase your movement speed. You've also again got something like meter, which will again increase your movement speed. These sort of things will help you move around the map quicker, and as useless as they sound, they're not. It's the difference between you escaping a slaughter and not doing, basically. I use stompies now every time I go into PvP, and I do survive quite regular by escaping, as you will see in the video that I've put out for you. I might have to get a few more clips because this video is going on longer than I thought it would be. But my last point is your super. Obviously you've got roaming supers and you've got static supers. Know what your super can do. Know how far you can push it. For example, a golden gun, you don't want to be running into a room full of 4 people expecting that you'll get all 4. More than likely you'll get team shot and get killed instantly. You want to be pre-popping that super and popping in and out of a doorway or a corner where you can see them to kill them. Obviously they'll crap themselves and get into cover, which again is the point of pre-firing your super. They don't know that it's coming. So try and use your super so that they don't know when it's coming, and don't be too obvious with it because you'll just get team fired and killed. Even with roaming supers, if you try to pop it in a room of 4 people, chances are you'll get killed before it's finished its animation. So pre-fire it round a corner and know that you can get to the enemy quick enough to kill them. If the enemy is at the other end of the map, don't pop it. Get into cover near them where they can't get you, pop it, run around the corner, start causing havoc. That is the best thing to do with your super. So like I said, maneuverability is a big key part to the game, and a lot of people don't think it is. So focus on it, focus where you're making mistakes, whether it's retreating or over pursuing, or even just engaging in long range battles with the wrong guns, or using the wrong sort of maneuvering techniques in short range and long range battles, and just keep focused on these little things, and you'll tweak them, and you'll find that your survivability increases, and not only that, but the amount of kills you get also come with that. I mean, I get constant kill streaks now. There's not many games I go into where I struggle, and if I do, it's because I'm with a team that isn't playing as a team, they're just playing as a load of solos, which is always a problem. But in this game, as you can see, I started badly and eventually turned it round to prove that maneuverability can be a big key to the game. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you found this video useful, feel free to hit that like button. If you think I've missed anything out, feel free to comment below, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more, please, it really helps me out. Thanks for watching, Guardians. I will catch you next time.